Hey guys, how's it going? It's Eddie in quarantine down in Key West. All right, let's see. Okay, so today I'm actually gonna try and just talk a little bit longer about stuff. I'm gonna try and ramble on, try to make it 20 minutes. I found a subject that I want to talk about, and I'll explore it with you guys. Hold on. If you get bored, don't watch it, or kind of maybe fast forward through. I might say something interesting. I don't know. Okay, so one of the things that I have been having a lot of fun with recently, learned a lot about, um, and I want to share with you is kratom. All right, and kratom is kratom. You guys can find out everything about kratom on the internet, but basically, it's a relative of the coffee family, and it grows in Southeast Asia. And in Southeast Asia, it's kind of been like a workers, I don't want to say intoxicant, but kind of, how like they have kava in the South Pacific, and they have different kind of things. But this is something that gives energy. In Thailand is where Red Bull came from, right? It's similar kind of stuff, uh, which I just think is, for my opinion, basically poison. But it's kind of like that. You hear that hummingbird? That thing is not shut up in weeks, man. But anyhow, I've been taking kratom, doing kratom, whatever you call it, drinking kratom for over a year now. It's been wonderful. It's a plant. It's my friend. Okay, I enjoy it. They say that it works on the same receptors in your brain as opiates do, and I can kind of understand where they're coming from in that, in the sense that when you do take it, it is sort of codeine like a little bit. There's a little bit of that to it, but it's like a PG version of codeine. Whereas it's like, and I have tried codeine and Percocet, and although I've never had a habit with it, I've definitely been like, oh wow, that's really impulsively addicting. It's not like that. It's really just, it's kind of like that. There's a little bit of that, but it's more like coffee. It's a mood element for me. It's a mood element. Now people use it for a lot of different reasons. Some people use it for pain relief. Some people use it to get off of harder opiates, because I think there's 40, 50,000 people dying a year off of those things. And so people both use it to come off of it, and possibly to potentiate it, possibly to make, I don't know. It's not where I'm coming from with it. For me, my friend Ray told me about it, and he said it's really fun to try, and he's told me about a lot of other stuff to try that was fun, so I thought I'd listen to him on this one too. But let me show you what it looks like here. This is kind of what it looks like. They dry the leaf up and they grind it up, and it looks like that. All right, that's a big dose right there. And then what you do, there's a million different ways to take it. But for the most part, or what I do, is I just mix it in a little bit of water, and then I chug it down. So I put it in probably like an ounce and a half, 2 ounces of water, and I shake it up, and then I drink it. I drink it first thing in the morning. I'll drink my coffee. I usually drink like half a cup of coffee, and then I'll drink it, and then I also drink it again at night, usually, like about this time. I just drank some a little bit ago. I did a video of this, and then I took it at the end of it to sort of demonstrate it, and I was like, I feel a lot better now, a lot more chatty, a lot more relaxed. But so my friend Ray told me about it, and I said, where do you get it? And he said, oh, you can get it at a gas station. And so I did find it. You can find it in gas stations. You can find it in like convenience stores, kind of like the cheesier, the less corporate ones. It's right there next to the crack pipes and stuff, which is always a bad spot for it. Something as far as its brand marketing. It actually seems to have a kind of a bad brand. I tried to buy it one time in Canada, and I didn't know where they had it, and I went to a head shop, and they didn't want to sell it because they said that the people that did kratom were like bad characters. I think that was where I got the idea that they were using it to potentiate their other addictive drugs. And yeah, it's got a strange place in the marketplace. It's like the Ed Hardy of herbal supplements. But for me, I did it. I was trying to drink less, mostly because of blood sugar, and just money and stuff like that. And so I just looked at it as replacement vice to beer and whatever. And I was trying to eat low carb, slow carb, which is good, very good keto. I call it the keto IPA. So that's where I'm coming from on it, and that's my experience with it. And it is a mood element, and I have had I feel like you could replace painkillers, you could replace SSRIs, you could replace alcohol with it. And when I measure the risks that may or may not exist in it, I'm going to compare it to that. And so, I don't know, you've probably seen, if you see something about it, there's a lot of kind of crazy, weird stuff out there on the internet about people dying on it. I'm not saying nobody's ever died. Somebody's probably died, but I don't know how many people die. Google how many people die of Advil every year. Or think about how much diabetes kills, or opiates for that matter, or alcohol. So I personally, when I made my risk assessment, I'm trying to word things like that so I'm not advising anybody to do it. It is an experience that I would love to share with my best friends. I would give it to my grandfather. I would love for my grandfather, he's dead, it'd be weird, but I would give it to anybody that was older that had aches and pains, because of the fact that if I'm working out or paddling a lot, it seems to take, I feel like it takes away those pains. So I feel it's relatively safe. For me personally, I've done the research. If you do the research, you'll see the fear stuff. If you go to Reddit, kratom.com, there's a lot of people that have had similar experience to mine, even more so. There you'll probably find a lot of people that are talking about how it helped them get off of hard narcotics. Again, not what I'm speaking from, but I do feel that it has really helped me keep my sanity at a crazy time. I take it on the plane. I tell you what, I love taking it flying. I used to hate flying and stuff, or not hate, but kind of, and I've definitely taken Percocets on that, where I'm like, oh, I'm going on a plane flight, I'm gonna take breaks. It's not any fun. You do kratom, you're just like, everything's fine. You're much more. I feel like you're much more patient on it. My friend Tom said, and he doesn't not a big fan of it, but he said it just makes life slightly less irritating, and I feel like that's a good description of my experience with it. I don't like irritating, so I'm kind of happy about that. Let's see. Oh, okay. So I want to show you guys what I do, and I've done this for about a year and a half, and I haven't felt that many negatives. It's definitely earned a place in my cabinet, and I'm 53, man, so I got lots of shit in my cabinet now. I got like lion's mane and CDB oil and bacopa and ashwagandha, and all that stuff. It may work, maybe, kind of. It might work. That's a lot more expensive, to be honest. And you kind of, maybe it's a placebo. I spent like $100 on CDB oil, and it for kind of the same reasons and stuff. And I couldn't swear that it worked. I still throw it in there, man. Like, why not? Like Mark Maron said, just take the turmeric, just make sure it's activated with black pepper. I don't know. I mean, why not, right? This stuff, the first time that you take it, the first time I took it, I really didn't recognize anything like the first time. Maybe, I don't know why. I think it's because you're in a slightly better mood. You're not tingling, you're not seeing colors, you're not high like on dope, you're just in a slightly better mood. But you get in better moods for lots of reasons. It's after you've done it 3 or 4 times that you you recognize that certain type of mood elevation comes about 15 minutes after you take this really nasty tasting stuff. So I got it at the convenience store. It had some silly name, But eventually I graduated. It's kind of maybe expensive there. I don't know, it's like $20. I think it was like, I remember working it out in beer. I was thinking of beer. It was like, yeah, for $20 you probably get like 4 doses or maybe 5 doses. But those doses, that's even kind of a druggy term for it, but whatever it is. Like, what do you say when you say ashwagandha? Like your dosage. But that lasts for a long time. And for me, I do it like first thing in the morning, right after my coffee, I feel like it works with coffee really, really well. I take L-theanine with it. I take my lion's mane. Has it helped me with the crossword puzzle? I'm not really sure, but I'm gonna take it anyhow. I don't understand why all these people like On It and Alpha Brain and stuff don't sell this stuff, man. I don't know, because this definitely you can feel that effect in the same way you can feel a glass of wine or you can feel a cup of coffee. Unlike lion's mane, where you're like, yeah, maybe it works. Not really sure. This one you would know. So you can take it in capsules or you can get it in powder. It tastes really bad, but I don't care anymore. I think that I just mix it in about an ounce and a half of water. I have a little jar. What's this? And what I do is I get it from Indonesia now, So that's the deal. Like I buy it in kilos in Indonesia, and it's a lot cheaper. It takes a couple weeks, but they might make it illegal, so I got a lot. And it's a lot cheaper than even Cafe Bustelo. Got my little spoon. All right, and then I pull it out. But what I do is I use a scale. That makes it seem more druggy and less kombucha-like, But I use a little scale here because of the fact that I have had friends say that it's habit forming. Maybe it's addicting. Maybe there's withdrawals on it. I haven't tried it. I have quit twice, like for a couple of days. When I started doing it, if you freehand it, you end up kind of having a heavy pour on it. So what I do is I take about, I'll show you. So I measure out, and if you do try it, I would say invest in a scale, because you'll be better with the freedom. More is less is kind of better. And it's pretty amazing that I've been taking this every day for over a year and a half, and I'm still using about the same amount. But if you start freehanding it, you just push it up, and then you kind of get addicted to 4 or 5 or 6. Or I've read about people taking like, 30, 40 grams at a time or during a day, and I could see that if you free it. That's about it. Okay, that's a little too much. I would do that. I was freehanding it, but if I measured it, probably like, a quarter of that isn't gonna make it in the cut. But unlike alcohol or weed or a lot of other sort of vices / intoxicants, it's not something that you do continuously. You take that amount and then you're done with it, and then you're no longer. It's kind of a good and bad thing. It's bad because you can't socially take it. You're not going to be like, and then we had 20 freaking kratom. You're not going to do that. First off, you don't want it. It almost makes you want things less. Like, I don't really want alcohol. I feel like I don't want to smoke weed. I don't have that need to have a something in your life. Like a lot of times, we do that, man, whether it's chocolate or chips or booze or whatever, I think when we wake up as human beings, we know we're just not quite right or something. We start digging around, eating plants, killing animals, trying to find chocolate or lick a toad or something to kind of get right. But with this plant's a friend of mine here. I just take that 2.5 grams, and then I'm done. I drink my coffee. It's similar to coffee as far as the kind of thing that you would get. For me, my experience with it is it's about from your baseline. It moves you as much as coffee, just maybe in a different direction. But then if you take too much, so I would say for me, probably if I took like 5 grams, maybe 6 grams, I'm not sure. At some point, you get what they call the wobbles, which is a very, very, very unpleasant experience. Not that unpleasant, but it, kind of like if you drink too much or something. It doesn't last long. You just clammy and feel uncomfortable for about 45 minutes. I've done that maybe, I don't know, 3 times or something. You don't want to do it, so you just so I like that. I like that it's really something that you're not like wanting to do more of. I read somewhere they said something about the like one of the like it doesn't bind on to the receptors that create like impulsive behavior. I don't know. When I drink alcohol, which I'm even not really a big fan of, but if I have 3 gin and tonics, I want that fourth, and usually that fourth tells me I want another one. This does not have that I want more feel to it. So yeah, you can buy it at the corner stores or gas station next to the crack pipes or something like that. You can also get it online. I think there's Coastal Kratom is good. They have all different kinds of strains. I don't know. Some people believe in that. I just saw a Kratom importer say that when they sort the Kratom, it's just made up. But I do think maybe it varies a little bit from batch to batch, and they just do it. And this one here, this is a kilo that I got from Indonesia. I got this guy I met, one of my friends that likes Kratom, introduced me to one of his Facebook friends, and he shipped it over. That's a kilo. You can easily get that for $100, and that'll last for, I don't know, man, like seems like months and months, and like if you're a daily user. Yeah, let's see, I'm trying to think. I take, there's sometimes if you read about it and stuff, you'll see there's things what they call things that potentiate it, like something you can take with it to make stronger. I take L-theanine. I don't really know what that stuff is. It's supposed to be good for you. It's supposed to be like a, keep your brain sane kind of thing. I do take it. Does it potentiate it? I don't know. Maybe. I think for me, it does help me do things like exercise. It helps me do yoga, and it helps me just get my heart rate up and stuff, and it's motivating. And I think that's a secondary effect. Maybe it's a first effect. I don't know. If you exercise a lot, that's a great way to kind of, I don't know, live a good life and be happy and all that. Maybe that's where all these, maybe it's just I'm exercising. I don't know. Makes it easier for me to like stick to my like dietary goals. I do I do all the trendy shit, okay? Like anything you see on the internet, whether it's meditation or yoga or intermittent fasting or keto diet, all that shit is like my basic regular thing. So I usually don't eat until noon. I stop eating until 8, after 8. I mean, skipping breakfast, can I do that? Yeah. I did actually lose a lot of weight. I did lose a lot of brain fog, and I started sleeping a lot better and just being a lot healthier. I had, and I hope to have again, a pretty active job. It's hard at 53 to be paddling miles and miles and snorkeling and swimming and unloading kites. It's hard to do that when you're drinking IPAs. It's hard to do that, man. It's hard to wake up and be out in the sun all day. For me, that has helped me a lot with that. For me, it's been very much a part of a really, really of a healthy lifestyle. And I don't know, I'm trying to think of what to say. Like if I got a little about it. Yeah. Oh, you can read about it. They might regulate it. I don't really get that. I cannot imagine there's a reason for the government to step in. I don't want to pontificate too much on that. Maybe it should be regulated more. Maybe it shouldn't. The FDA says you shouldn't try this plant, even though they've been using it for forever, and your buddy did it, and he likes it, until we do lots and lots of testing on it. I'm like, yeah, okay. I have faith in the FDA. I have faith in like sort of communal knowledge, but I'm also willing to take the advice of my friends and take risks. And for me, for a year, it's been a very, very positive thing. I would wish my experience on Kratom with any of my friends. I think people have different experiences with it for sure. There probably is some potential for abuse. I don't know, maybe it could kill you. Maybe there's heavy metals in it. Maybe it creates liver damage. These are all things that I've read on the internet. I've not been convinced. I have been on Reddit, and some people have said I've got my liver tests done and they're fine. I've been taking it for 10 years. I thought Reddit was a good resource for me. Usually when I do see the anti-kratom stuff out there, I can sort of see that they're kind of playing fast and loose. I don't really get it. We're just now legalizing pot, and which is good, because I really think that, you know, pot's not really my thing, but putting people in cages is not, you know. Does it have the potential for abuse? I'm sure it does. It has helped me immensely live a healthier, happier lifestyle. And if you're interested in it, and if I didn't answer any questions that you had on it, then you can just, you know, text me on the internet or whatever, and I'll let you know. I'm not an expert at it, but I have done it for a year and a half, and I feel healthier than I have ever been, sort of, you know, like, other than being older now. And I would wish that experience on anybody. So yeah, that's all I got for you on that one. I hope this video helps somebody. All right? Okay. Peace out, y'all.